Samora manning it for the podcast for Orange County SC. Of course, it is your host, Dylan, up in the virtual gantry with his co-host, Alan, down in San Diego. Alan, how are you doing?
Fantastic.
Alan, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking a beer called That's Cute. It is a dry-hopped Kolsch beer, dry-hopped with Mosaic, I believe, and it is a very light but very crushable and tasty beverage.
Please save
What are
me
you
one.
enjoying?
I've got a longboard, which is okay, but it was cheap, which is why I bought it.
Fair. It's a big beer.
Kona Brewing Company.
I would show you the can, but it's just a blank can because they didn't have labels because they weren't planning on canning it. So
there you go.
There you go.
Of course, you did hear the voice of the man himself, the manager of Al Hilal out there in Saudi Arabia, our good friends, of course. Ray, how are you doing? How is your team? How are you prepared for tonight's match?
This is going to be a tough match. This is a battle, I believe, for sixth place after this week. My opponent, I believe, is sitting in sixth, 1 point ahead of me as I'm in seventh. Either that or seventh and eighth, one of those two, depending on how the matches are going or went this week. And I haven't really followed up on the score today, or the standings today. So,
of course,
I am checking right now.
Yeah, there we go. Ray, when was this match supposed to be played? Was it Saturday night?
I think originally, I'm looking at the Twitter page right now. Originally it was supposed to be on Thursday.
Oh.
And we had a little bit of a virtual delay, so we're now...
Some bad weather. Maybe some journalists were misbehaving.
I guess so, and I think we're going to have a slight early kickoff. I think we're going to have a kickoff here in the next minute or so.
Oh, would you look at that? Well, the national anthem's quickly being sung, as it always should be. Being sung quickly.
My opponent is using Celtic today, so just so you know.
Well,
I think my third match in a row or something, or third out of four or something.
That sounds about right.
Yep. And Ray currently sits in 9th place. Swift XSX currently sits in 6th, but with a win today, DJ Ray Samora can jump all the way up to 6th place.
Beautiful. It sounds like the actual Western Conference from 2019 in real play, where, one win and some results the other side of things. Good to see you jump like 6 places for 6 months. Ray, is your team more prepared than your jersey with that bent logo there, or bent crest? Are you familiar with an iron?
I was just telling you before we went live, I sort of was running late on dinner. I was cooking a tri-tip or smoking a tri-tip. Took a little bit longer than I was anticipating. So literally about 10 minutes before we went live, I had to jump in the shower really quick to get the smoke smell off of me. And then I'm here to represent. So,
because everyone knows video includes smell.
4D over here.
4D, yes.
We're working on that technology, right, gentlemen?
If you scratch your computer screen, it'll smell like roasted or smoked tri-tip.
Yes.
Right after you do that, if your phone is a little bit low on battery after watching the stream, you could always just put your phone in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And that should give it about 20 to 30% more battery than what you've got at the moment. All right, Ray, how are we looking down there on the virtual pitch?
I'm ready. My team's out on the pitch right now, just waiting for my opponent to hit the pitch. I think they're coming out the tunnel right now, so I think we're ready to get going on this.
Maybe some gamesmanship over there, always showing up late. It's a weird move. Let's see who plays in what colors. All right, I don't understand everyone and their obsession with the yellow Celtic kits. I never will, alas. Here we go. And let's quickly pop on over and see what Alan had to say in the chat. Probably. I'm going to say yes, because that doesn't end until June. So if you are wondering and you didn't happen to see that message, you could always donate to Relay for Life of South Orange County. Ray, of course, will be donating $1 for every goal he scores. Maybe Alan will donate $1 for every time one of his dogs barks. Who knows?
I will go broke.
All right, we're going live, gentlemen.
Broke, and here we are. It's Giovinco again. Oh, so short.
Ray is going to have a tough time donating today. His opponent has only allowed 8 goals in 7 matches. So a very stout defensive team. So if Ray can get one, he's got a pretty good chance. But his opponent has scored 31 goals in 7 matches to Ray Samora's 16.
That might be a tad worrying. Of course, apologies as you look at my Mozilla Firefox for a moment, the most private browser that is not actually sponsoring us at all. And any moment now, Lee Griffiths should get us underway for the
Why are they singing "You'll Never
game.
Walk Alone" at a Celtic match? That's weird.
Anyway, we are underway for match number 8, match week number 7 here in the eUSL Championship. Let's see what happens. Of course, if you're curious, so far, Orange County Soccer Club has raised $263.54 for Relay for Life South Orange County, which is a great number. Of course, the goal is 1,000 with just under a month left. So let's see what happens as Celtic try to make something happen. And Al Mayouf, the weak link, is able to get across and punch the ball out for a corner.
Great move to create some space there at the top of the box, but didn't quite place it where he wanted to, I don't think.
Yeah, center back looking a little bit lost there, but no harm, no foul. Aslem is fought off the ball by Forrest. Counter attack nullified. Here comes Celtic down the left flank, waiting for Taylor to cross it. No, opts for a pass. And maybe a little bit more direct play from Ray here today. Of course, a good 1-2 punch of Gomis and Giovinco up top. And maybe some of the same passing that we've seen for the last 7 match weeks is continuing here now. Here comes Giovinco. He's free, but no.
Nope.
Forster makes the stop. That's really good goalkeeping there.
Yeah, I can't really fault Giovinco. It's not like he took a heavy touch. Just the goalkeeper was very aggressive and beat him to the ball.
Of course, here in FIFA, always a good idea. Not a lot of people are composed enough to try and chip or creative enough to try and chip. It takes far too long to actually chip in this game, so you might as well rush your keeper out 10 out of 10 times and see what happens. Celtic just enjoying a brief spell of possession, but Eduardo has something else to say, and here comes another Al Hilal counterattack. A little bit stranded out there, but Giovinco's probably teeing up here.
Oh.
And
that looked more like American football, trying to go for 3 points there.
Certainly won't be the only chance for Ray as we're entering about 15 minutes played here. Still 0-0.
Yeah, it is hopeful because Ray is creating chances against usually a very stout defense, but
he's also seeing chances like that. And there again, you see goalkeeper way off his line, but chips hardly ever come off, and Al Mayouf makes the block. Here we go, another Celtic corner. That's prime example of how to make yourself large as a goalkeeper.
I like to make myself large by eating lots of sweets.
That is another tactic. However, it does hinder your ability to jump, run. It's probably not great on your reflexes either. But
probably not.
Hey, you can make your own decisions. You're a grown man, Alan. I'm proving that.
Right?
Koyar makes some grown decisions, and Giovinco doesn't. Of course, now you start to see Al Hilal committing a lot of men forward. Heavy challenge there, but he got the ball on just a pretty heavy collision, but no foul. Rio, Gomis from the top of the box.
Nice ball movement. Gotta hold on to that.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to make himself some space there to turn and fire off a low shot, but nothing comes of it. Celtic aren't out of it yet, but maybe now after that pass, it might just be. Questionable tackle there, and a questionable pass, but Al Mayouf is able to gather under no pressure and find the right back, Albarek.
So, it seems like Al Hilal needs to spend a little bit more time in the weight room between this match and next one. They're getting pushed around quite frequently out there.
Yeah, I would imagine that the Saudi Arabian League is not particularly physical compared to Scotland, which is, of course, 4-4-2, hoofball, kill off a game with one thing left, heavy challenges, you know. It's all beautiful. Who doesn't love a bunch of Shrek-like men throwing bodies and elbows at each other? As Griffiths, again, Al Mayouf coming up big for the third time. The Al Hilal defense not having a good game this far. We'll see how long that continues before Ray is punished.
Especially after Hyun Soo had the man of the match last match.
Not looking like this time.
Yeah, the defense is committing some cardinal FIFA sins of center backs pulling slightly out of position, and that will almost always hurt you.
Of course, that is also a real life cardinal sin as well. If you are a center back, you don't get to go on an adventure.
No.
Excuse me, as I bang my beer bottle into my desk. That is my apologies. And maybe a chance here for Celtic. Just trying to get a little bit cute with it, and then Hyun Soo, far out of position, makes the tackle, and then immediately gives up the ball again.
By kicking it directly into the opposition player.
Curious, but then again, curious from Taylor there. If you're looking across the line, you do have to stay onside. There's no excuse for that, especially, I believe, as a fullback to be that far out of position. But there we go. And the bad passing has continued. Neither side has looked great in possession because of this, but especially Al Hilal, and Al Mayouf again makes another save, and the ball goes out for another Celtic throw-in. Excuse me, another Celtic corner.
Yeah, if that shot finds either corner, that's for sure a goal. But that was just straight at the keeper, where he made, a really good save, but not the best shot. It seems as if
Christie in some space. This time he just slices it just a hair past the far post.
I thought he was going to sneak that one in. So Ray is dodging a couple bullets here. I think maybe at this point Ray would be happy with a 0-0 halftime tally.
Yeah, of course, you see Al Hilal spread out massively there. They only got 3 people up on attack, and their defense is now cut out. Edouard buries it into the bottom right-hand corner. No one could be surprised. Al Mayouf, definitely the man of the match thus far. Doesn't matter anymore. It is
You have to give Ray credit
Celtic
for that beautiful assist on that pass to start that counterattack. It was
absolutely one of the best of the season. Not great, Edouard. 40 minutes gone. It's 1-0 Celtic. We'll see what Ray can do here.
Now Ray needs to know that he's only down by 1, so he's got to push it offensively, but he doesn't want to leave himself open to go down 2 goals. He just still got to play that game. He's shown that he can create some chances. He just got to put one in at this point.
Of course, there's still time to get one back before the half. We'll see if he's able to do that. And we will see if there is any added stoppage time in just a few moments. Christie coming down the right flank, playing around with it. We've seen this a few times from Celtic, and nothing's come of it yet. But it does kill off the clock as Forrest, his whipped cross is just cleared enough. Giovinco straight into Britain. Never going to win that one, unfortunately. Let's see. We've got 2 added minutes. You hear it over the tannoy there. 2 added minutes of stoppage time. And Celtic are looking like they're going to add a second before we go in for the break. Griffiths, heavy touch. Hunsu
nice
clears it away. Just a breather. And Celtic should be out of time as they push for a second goal.
Well, we know
waiting,
FIFA likes
Edouard. Ooh, this time shanks it.
Just floats it by, yeah.
And the ref blows for halftime. Ray, not your best half, of course. We'll take a look at some of those shots, but a little bit lacking.
Definitely, I think the long period off has definitely affected me a little bit. I didn't play any FIFA. I don't think, maybe a couple games after the last match that same night or the next night, but been staying away from it for a while, so I'm a little rusty right now.
Well, we'll see what happens here.
Creating chances, but not getting those chances to pay off with shots on goal.
Sorry, no stats, gentlemen.
It's all right. You had 0 shots, or 0 goals, 1 shot on goal, or 1 shot, 0 on goal, or something like that. Versus, I think 5 or 7 or something.
It's not ideal, but we'll see. 45 minutes left to play. We'll see what is going to happen. A clear foul there. No advantage given. Or sorry, advantage given, but not used. Yes, Scott Brown, ever one to be physical in nature.
You wonder if he's going to come back with like a yellow on that one. That was a pretty late and
reckless
had no chance of playing the ball. Yeah.
Nope, nothing there.
Nope.
Hyun-Soo, under some heavy pressure, gives out the ball for a Celtic throw in a very advanced position, but you see there Al Hilal holding 6 men behind the ball. It's maybe not the worst idea. That pass certainly was the worst idea, and this must be flagged for offside, and indeed Griffiths is offside and still only manages to hit the post.
And off of the keeper, that's the best part.
He's not off
accidental save
by much there, but that is a good high line from Al Hilal. Easy decision for the AR.
Let's see if Ray can hold on to some possession here, play some smart passes to unlock the defense as opposed to just trying to get too fancy and play like I play.
Of course, you see it there. You're maybe cursing him down on the touchline there, Alan, as Giovinco gathers the ball in the center circle, plays it out wide. It's curious to see how narrow Al Hilal have been playing today. Never really opting to whip anything in from the flank, instead opting to pass it back into a very, very crowded midfield. We'll see Al Hilal's defense stretched. Maybe on the ropes here, but able to make the tackle and come away with it. We'll see if they go straight for the counterattack here. Heavy challenge. Don't know if Julian really got the ball there, but no foul is called. Now Griffiths pulls it back. Sue runs right through him. Ray certainly looks like he's up on the ropes here. A curious back pass to his weak link, but he's able to clear it, and maybe a chance for a counterattack as Al Hilal come down the right flank via Carrillo. You see 5-on-4 here. Gomis in the box.
Oh,
it makes a good challenge. Gets his body in between Gomis and the ball.
That was brave.
It was. You mistimed that one, and this game is definitely level at that point. Here comes Giovinco. Tries to spin. A late challenge out of frustration, but misses entirely. You'd think
now
it's
Ray's
80th
starting to
minute.
put some pressure.
Yeah, it is a panicked. And here comes the first cross of the game. And now I understand why he's been passing it back into the midfield. Edouard Abdullahi makes the tackle and pushes up into the space. Again, it's a 4-on-5 here.
Oh, heavy touch. I don't think he meant to do that. That ball kind of exploded off of his foot.
We'll see
Here's
if
some vintage Ray defense. Let's see if we can turn it into some vintage Ray offense.
a little bit creative there, but it worked out nicely. Cuellar plays it out wide, and we'll see if Ray is going to make any substitutes as we enter, or as we near the 70th minute. Cross is blocked, but Al Hilal here have a corner. Let's hope this cross goes better than the last attempt from him.
This corner kick brought to you by Relay for Life for South Orange County. You can donate today at donate.ocscpodcast.com.
That's the one. Say it with conviction, unlike that header from that corner. But we will have to wait for any Ray donations. You don't have to wait, of course. Donate.ocscpodcast.org. They'll get your donation now, much like Ray needs a goal now. 20 minutes left to play. Ray has not looked good for much of this game, but if there's anything I know about this, late heroics have happened.
It's called getting FIFA'd.
I suppose so. Let's see, Edouard Salam.
Oh, nice ball movement.
Giovinco
out of position.
skies it. Oh no.
Put that on target, and that's a goal. Just put too much
Disappointing.
power. With great power comes great responsibility.
And And maybe a little bit less responsibility for him now. Maybe just...
I mean, they did well to pull the goalie out of position. They set it up perfectly. They just did not execute.
We'll see if Ray can make that happen one more time as we enter the final 15 minutes of this match. Celtic here with an opportunity. McGregor still looking for the pass, clearly. Griffiths, bottom left-hand corner.
Nice run.
This one must be gone. You can see the Celtic fans are going crazy out in the stands. Hugging a man who's been running around for 75 minutes. Who wouldn't want that?
That's a defender not picking up that late run, and you hate to see it.
Or perhaps love to see it if you are a Vegas fan here. It is 2-0, 76 minutes gone. We'll see if Ray just holds it for the goal difference now, or if he tries to claw one back. You see the possession stats there. Of course, not always meaningful. Not particularly meaningful here, and the chip over the bar.
Yeah, that was a little too much space to come out there.
Definitely,
Got
but
caught
did
caught
go
no
the
man's
chip
land.
into happening, so there's that. Potentially will get punished for that next time, but yeah, Ray is unable to hold on to the ball. It reminds me a bit of the first match he played all those weeks ago.
I think the scoreline tells you one thing, but you know, defensively he's had a lot of really nice moments, and even offensively he's been, you know, threatening. But if you don't score, you can't win.
Yeah, Celtic by far looking the better team, and here with another opportunity. Christie looking for the low pass. Neither team really looking to cross in this game, and it maybe isn't a particular surprise with the success that their corners have had. Gomes probably not going to score deep within his own half where he's receiving the ball. It's a bit like Michael Seaton had to do last season. But Carrillo cuts it back.
Ooh.
No, Julian is able to get his head to it and prevent Gomes from the late run and maybe a very powerful header, but we'll see.
And there's that song again.
Here
Which means we're coming up to the end of the match.
comes Ray. Maybe one final time.
Oh.
Edouard. Giovinco. Straight down
Oh,
into the
straight
groin
in his
of
crotch.
Forster, but Forster makes the save anyway. Amazing that the man who's only 5'3" was even able to get his head to it. Definitely a defensive lap from Celtic here, but Ray is just lucky here to get another goal. 2 minutes of added time, and
Great
this
move.
must be
Should have taken it.
Should have taken the shot. Always looking for a pass.
I mean, that is the FIFA rule. Is almost always try to look for that extra pass sometimes, but
This is an Arsenal. You don't need to walk it in.
we know how good Ray is at walking things in.
And there it is. Full time. Ray takes the loss here. He will not be moving up into 6th position. He'll likely be dropping a few goals, but not a massive margin of victory. Or defeat, I should say, today. Could be worse. And again, we hear some "You'll Never Walk Alone," which is
Ray currently sits in, will
Curious.
still stay in 9th place with a game in hand on the person behind him, who, ironically, I play next. Sorry, Ray.
we'll see what happens with that one.
Hopefully you can get the win there, Alan.
So, Ray, I got pretty close. A little bit frustrating tonight, but I thought for large portions you played really well defensively, had a lot of good chances offensively, just couldn't quite come up with a goal and just kind of got beat a couple times on some drawn out offensive plays. How do you feel tonight?
I'm frustrated because really, if you look at it, there was, I think, 3 opportunities Giovinco had to get a goal, and well, I'm controlling him, of course, but the fact that none of those even really challenged my opponent. I mean, the closest one was that header that he headed right down into the goalie.
Right.
like high and wide or whatever it was. I mean, if I can get one of those, it's a totally different game, because then it's not a 2-0. It's maybe a 1-1 or a 2-1, and it's just a different strategy at that point. So that's the frustrating part.
I know you talked about some rest, but I thought a pretty decent back end. So maybe a little bit rusty on the offensive side more than the defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been more of a defensive-minded player, so I think that just comes more naturally to me. The offense stuff is, having to be in a rhythm and sort of be in a flow. And because I've stepped away from FIFA for a week or so now, I think I lost some of that offensive flow that I had match or something. So, the defense is always going to be there for me, at least as best as I can, because that's what I do. But yeah, tough one. Need to come back this next week here. I think it's another tough opponent. So, it'll be interesting. I need to definitely pick up a win in this next match and get the full 3 points to make sure I stay towards the top of the table and not creep towards Allen territory.
You got a long way to go to get there. Next week. You will be playing Logan Hensley, and currently, Logan Hensley is in 11th place, 4 wins, 3 losses, and a draw. So 17 goals for, 14 goals against. So I think you got a pretty decent shot of
I think it's very
getting back in the
similar.
win column.
So
yeah,
I'm hoping. This is disappointing loss today, though.
Yeah.
Have you considered listening to Jack Q, or Q, my apologies, on Twitter or Periscope, who said to just try something better? You might consider that next week.
I definitely will consider to try something better next week to try and make sure I can get the 3 points. That's definitely some good advice from Jack. I think that's the best advice I could have gotten, is to just try something better. So I will do that.
Yeah. I also have some of my front office staff looking into try something better as well. So maybe we can swap some notes when we further investigate trying something better.
Yeah, we'll figure out how that works and what the secret is behind trying something better.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight. Of course, we thank you for joining us for a delayed match week 7, match day 8. We will see you in match week 8. For match day 9 sometime later this week. We'll be sure to throw that up on all of our social medias when we find out what it is. But for Ray and for
don't forget
Alan,
tomorrow, podcast tomorrow. So don't forget to tune into that. We'll have more in-depth thoughts on this match, plus any other stuff we can think of in our fun show. So
it will definitely be
fun. Tomorrow.
Yes, we will see you tomorrow. For Ray, for Alan, this has been the Orange and Black SoccerCast eUSL Championship match week 7, match day 8, and we are